Understanding the simple steps of beat making is, well, simple. Very simple. People have this predetermined notion that making beats or music production is some like crazy complicated scientific task. It's not. But good news, I'm not one of those people that just say all that stuff and then just leave you high and dry. I'm gonna actually show you how simple it can be. The key word is layers. Every single instrumental, every single beat, honestly every single song you ever heard in your life has had layers. The real term for them is tracks. More or less every different sound in a song or in a beat is called a track. But using that term can be kind of confusing because tracks has multiple meanings in the music world, as you probably know. Like a track is something you listen to, like, oh, I like that track, you know what I mean? Or track is something that you run, which I don't do. So let's just call them layers. And the funny thing about layers, I talk about them all the time, and you probably don't even know. I talk about them in like every single music producer reacts videos. Here's a little montage. Like, did you hear that bass synth? It went. Wait, I want to show you this tom roll. That was a nice lead-in into that hook. The guitar in the background. Now, in my last video, I introduced you guys to simple steps of beat making, and I explained why that's important. I definitely want you guys to go back and watch that video because I don't want you to miss out on any of the important information in there. You could stop this video and watch that one first, or you could watch this one afterwards. It doesn't really matter. The order doesn't matter. Just like how the order doesn't matter on how you construct your beats. They all have layers, but it doesn't matter how you construct the layers. It doesn't matter what order you go in. It's all about what's comfortable for you. But let me show you exactly what I mean when I say there's layers in instrumentals and how to construct them. All music production, all beats have layers, and I want to go over those layers with you right now. Alright, so I have an instrumental pulled up, and I have everything labeled the right way so you guys can really see a clear picture of what these layers really look like. So everything I'm about to click on is a different layer in the instrumental, okay? Kick, clap, hi-hats, 808. That's what I choose to use for my bass, but 808 is just taking the place for the bass line in the song. Every instrumental has to have some kind of bass in there, or at least it should. And then I just put main melody. It's actually a bass instrument that I used, but I pitched it up really high so it doesn't sound like a bass and it doesn't serve the purpose of a traditional bass in a song. So yeah, just main melody. All right, so let's start with the kick. First layer. So this is the pattern that I made for the drum pattern, starting with the kick. Pretty boring, right? So let's add in a clap, spice it up a little bit. Second layer. All right, let's give it some movement. The way we do that is adding some hi-hats. This is the third layer. So this is only 3 layers now. Watch what happens. Like now you can bob your head to it, right? And that's just 3 layers. That's all it takes. But we're gonna spice it up even more. So if you have on headphones or you're listening to this through speakers, you'll be able to hear this part really well. If you're listening to it on phone speaker, you might not be able to hear this part that well, but it's very important. This is the 808 bass. Okay. And then the 5th layer that we're throwing in is the main melody, that bass sound that I pitched up, I said. Anyways, this is gonna just show that these basic 5 layers could make a complete instrumental for you. Now the beat has some melody to it. So that's just very basic layers of the beat though. I mean, there's way more that goes into it, and I didn't even mention these things, but here's the extra stuff that I had muted, and I muted it on purpose so that way I could show you what all these other layers and extra layers that I throw on can really do to bring the beat to life a little bit more. It takes on whole new life with all those new sounds in there. But yeah, that's layers. In my upcoming online course, Basics of Beat Making, I'll be going over way more than just this. I'm gonna go way more in depth about layers. I'm gonna show you all the little details about making music and music production in general that really help your songs stand out and what makes them really listenable, just like all the songs you listen to on the radio all the time. Like, why do I like these songs? Why do I like this song by my favorite artist on Spotify? Why do I like this artist that I hear on YouTube? You know what I mean? I just mentioned like the first 5 layers of basically the rhythm section, which is like drums, bass, sometimes piano, but I didn't really get into cymbals, extra percussion elements, different types of synthesizers, different types of bass that there are, transition noises like the and all that stuff. That how to use those is very important. Every layer you can think of and how to mix them and how to get them sounding perfect to make incredible music production is what you could expect and what you're gonna get out of my Basics of Beat Making course, along with pretty much everything else I think someone starting out should know about beat making. I'm going to keep it very simple, but at the same time give you everything you need to know. Now we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys a simple trick that I unfortunately learned pretty late in my music production career, but that's all right, You guys will have it right off the bat. But once I did learn it, it changed everything for me and about my whole approach to music production in general, and things started to change. People started to buy more beats from me. People started to use my production in more songs. More people wanted to work with me because of this little trick that just changed my sound. It just made it sound way more professional. And I know for a fact, if it did it for me, it can do the same for you. I'm not special. So don't miss it. Thank you guys for watching. Can't wait to share this tip with you. It's gonna make your beats 10 times better. I appreciate you guys watching. Nada.